And we're live. What opens with the person on the TV telling all of the public that Black Lightning is back, and what closes with a person, what's the opposite of back? Somebody being gone, sort of, kind of in private. If you guess Black Lightning Season 1, Episode 2, you're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. And thank you so much for being one of my first 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you. It's not too late for you probably to click that button. And if we already well past 1,000, you could be one of my first 1 million subscribers. So just go on and click the button. These thumbnails are still giving me the flux. I was trying to give in that thumbnail Black Lightning, like the lightning is in my eyes and it's going to escape. But it didn't work. And you know I can't edit it. And it's so dark. It's like so late. I got to go forward because so let us proceed. So we see a news story on the TV. No question that Black Lightning is back. The question is why? We hear... we hear grunts and groans, and we see a body in the bed with, topless, but with, pants on. It's a man, and it's Jefferson Pierce. Is it Pierce? Yes, music. I gave you my love. What would I do? I can't even think. I do. Y'all know the song. It sounds good. The music. I like the music. Okay, so hit the cue music. Yes, music. You gotta be good to me. Yes. I'm gonna be good to you. Okay, let me stop being silly. Okay, so we see Mama Lynn, and she sleep with baby girl Jen, and then she wakes up and she hears Jefferson grunting and groaning. We see lightning and electrical currents moving through Jefferson's body, and then Mama Lynn leaves Jennifer and she goes to Jefferson, and she's like, I got you. And then Black Lightning getting to... Oh, I got you. Baby, Black Lightning is getting too old to be on these streets. Wait, let me get back. Focus. Black Lightning is getting too old to be on these streets. Remember when we were young and I first saw your superpowers? I thought you were so cool. My man was a superhero. What I thought was cool almost destroyed us. When I see this, I feel selfish because I told you to go get the girls and I put you back out there on the street like a crackhead. That's what Mama Lynn is saying. And I'm like, I don't understand, because he was already on his way. Remember, he was like, she like, where you going? He like to get the girls. And she's like, go, Black Lightning, go. He was already going. So it's not like you were like, get out like on the chai when the woman was like, my son is dead. So what you gonna do? Mama Lynn didn't really do that. But anyways, but she's still feeling guilty. He was going out there without your consent though, boo. That's how I feel. Jefferson goes back. He's like, the girls are back, and I'm done. I love you, Lynn. Stay here for the girls. And Lynn is like, okay. And then Jefferson is on the couch and he's watching the news and they're running up. Oh, and somebody on the news is like, so they running up in schools for girls now? What's next? They gonna be running up in churches to get girls? The 100 is winning. The 100 stay winning. That's what somebody's saying on the news. And then we see Jefferson and 5 or 6 people standing. They in the gym, like it's an assembly. And so they're standing, and there's people in the bleachers. And Jefferson is like, we are not fighting for these streets. We are fighting for the minds of the children. He talking, and folks are like, boo! Those are nice words, but the 100 is winning. And then a mama stands up and she's like, they got my little girl. Popo says there is no evidence and that it's against her will. And I'm like, is she underage? Because what evidence do you need? Okay, so anyway, I don't know though. I hope we're gonna find out more about this child, this young person, this mama's child as we go on. And Jefferson is like, Lawanda White, I'm sorry to hear about your daughter, but maybe now that the Seahorse Hotel is shut down. And Mama Lawanda is like, the Seahorse Hotel ain't shut down. They opened it right back up for business the minute all this mess died down. And they gonna stay open as long as they got them girls in there. And then Jefferson turns to Inspector Henderson, and he's like, one of the half dozen people that's standing with Jefferson. He's like, is this true? And then he turns back around, Jefferson, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then Mama Lawanda is like, well, clearly you didn't know. But what I want to know is why Black Lightning rescue only your girls? And then Anissa, she's one of the ones standing with them, and she kind of looks down. She's halfway looking down, and then Pierce is like, Jefferson Pierce is like, I don't know. And then Mama Lawanda is like, when I was here, you used to like to use quotes to teach us. Well, here's a quote for you. Unless all of us are free, none of us is free. And then the audience is clapping. Yes, that's right. Jefferson is just like, kind of blinking or just staring. And then we see Tobias. He's coming downstairs. He's talking to his two, and then he like, somebody knows who this bootleg Black Lightning is. And then Latavius and the white woman, those are the two that he's talking about. And he's like, Tobias is like, the albino is like, raise security 50% on every massage parlor, every crap game, squeeze these darkies till they crack. And then Latavius with his arm in the cast, he like, dang, boss, you really do hate black folks. And then Tobias is like, no, I love black folks. I hate incompetent, big-lipped Negroes like you. And then he pushes Latavius down. Y'all keep us enslaved. And then I guess speaking of enslavement, the white woman puts a ball gag in his mouth. And then, the people are going to think this fool, this faking is Black Lightning. This is Tobias speaking, will actually protect us. Surely we can't have that. And then we see Mama Lawanda. She's showing Jeff pictures of her man. And, Jeff is like, I remember you two were always holding hands. I'd have to tell you to let go of each other so you could go to class. And Mama Lawanda is like, that was the love of my life. When he was killed, all they did was send a flag and shoot some guns over his casket. And Jefferson is like, he deserved more. And she's like, yeah. And, my daughter, she fell apart. And she's showing baby girl's picture. Our lives fell apart. Shaquanda loved her daddy more than anybody in this world. She looking for her daddy and these grown men, doing everything I can to try to keep her safe. And Jefferson is like, well, what can I do to help? And Lawanda is like, go in there and take her out. And you can, but you won't. Everyone knows Mr. Pierce can do whatever he wants in Freeland. We used to call you Black Jesus. Thought you could walk on water. It's okay, though. Everybody say they gonna pray for me, but nobody's willing to fight for me. Well, you got your own girls to worry about, and I'm a worry about mine. Then we see Jefferson and Inspector Henderson walking in a hallway. Less than 48 hours, Henderson. And less than 48 hours, Henderson. That's Jefferson. And Henderson is like, it's a crime scene. Once we clean it up, we can't do anything else. And Jefferson is like, my girls were kidnapped. And Henderson is like, your girls say Lala was there. He says he wasn't there. He has 15 folks who say that he was at a club with them at a party. And Jefferson is like, he's a pimp. And Henderson is like, we can't, we've been there and done that. If we arrest him, the girls say they were not being forced. If we arrest the girls, they run right back to him. It's not their bodies that are just enslaved. It's their whole minds. And Jefferson is like, well, get that kid who came to the school to flip on Lala. And then Henderson is like, well, maybe if we could find him. And Jefferson is like, what? What do you mean if you could find him? He just got up and walked away from a 2-story fall. And Henderson is like, how did you know about that? The 2-story fall. And Jefferson is like, my girls told me. He better tell them girls he told you, And then you see how the lies can, And then Henderson is like, well, he escaped from the ambulance. And Jefferson is like, well, what about my girls? These two guys who took them are on the streets. You know snitches get stitches. And then Henderson is like, we got a cop car outside your house, and we are working on it. We gonna get Will, and then we gonna get Lala. And then we're at the house, and Lynn is on the porch in a chair, and Jen is video chatting with, I thought it was her boyfriend, but with her friend, who's a boy, her friend boy, who's at school, and sitting on the steps, you know, and her, you know, on the way up to the porch. And she like, I'm good. And then the little boy is like, well, you know, it's security everywhere here. When you coming back? And Jen is like, I don't know. And then the cops wave at a little boy. Hey, is that the little boy from Lala's the other day? I think that's that same little boy. And then the boy is walking down the street. He's all cute, looking all, you know, young and innocent. He walks up to Jen, and he like, you want to buy some candy? And Jen is like, what you got, little man? And then the boy is like, Lala, say hi. And then he pulls out a gun. It's a water gun. And he shoots Jen with red fluid. And then he rushes off. And one cop rushes up to her. And then the other cop is chasing the boy. And then we see Lala outside of like a bike race type show-off event thing. And it's like good times. This music is blasting. And the folks are cheering and laughing. Jefferson pulls up. And he gets out the car. And he walks through the show. He walks through the show. And Latavia's like, hey, you came for the show? I had the 12 o'clock boys to give the kids some entertainment. Jefferson is like, stay away from my family. And then Latavius is like, or what? I'm going to call him Latay. Latay, that's better than Lala, right? Latay is like, or what? And then Jefferson is like, we had a deal. You stay away from the school and my girls. And Latay is like, there have been some changes. Your girls are running their mouth to the po-po, Mr. Pierce. I'm trying to be nice because you was nice to me back in the day when I was in your school. They need to keep my name out their mouths. You better send them on a long vacation before I do. And then Latavius walks away, and then Jeff is trying to follow, and then he gets punched and kicked by 2 or 3 gang, you know, the goons, you know, they pull it up on, you know, they there, and then they pull 2 or 3 guns out on him. And then Latay laughs, and Jefferson, the lightning comes up, but it doesn't come out of his eyes. And he like, don't mistake my kindness, as he's walking away, for weakness, boy. And then Latavius is like, it's been a long time since I was a boy. And we see Jefferson, he's at the tailor shop. And he's like, they were in my house. And then he's pacing. He's highly agitated. And Taylor is like, I understand it. I got it. I understand. And then Gamby, I gotta get back in, you know, Gamby is like, get back in the suit. You know, Gamby, that's the white guy, the tailor. And let's take these guys down. We'll access whatever database we need, and I'll help the PD find Will, and Will will tell him all he knows about Lala, and then Lala will be arrested, and then he'll lead us to the source. And Jefferson is like, Gamby, you are not hearing me. After I take down Lala, I'm done. Hey, welcome on the chat. Thanks for the like. And then we see Anissa, and she's kissing. Oh, and she's in the bed with a woman, and they're laughing and they're pillow talking, and Anissa is like, are you sure you're okay? And then, you know, and then the woman is like, I should be asking you that. And Anissa's like, you know, it's not a good time to be talking about all of that. And then the woman, her girlfriend, is like, it's never a good time. I'm just a distraction for you. You are not serious about me. We've been dating for a year. And you've not met my parents. And Nissa's like, I'm busy between medical school and work and organizing. You know. And then her girlfriend is like, well, how are you coping with all of this? And then Nissa's like, you know, it feels weird, like a nightmare. And I want stuff to go back to the way it was before. You know, I want it to go back to normal. Babe, you know, I broke the sink in my bathroom. And her girlfriend is like, you what? And then Anissa's like, I mean, it just crumbled in my hands like it was nothing. And her girlfriend is like, well, we're going to get you a therapist, you know, to help get you through this. Oh, the sink crumbling? Yeah, that's probably just an old sink. Yeah. And I'm like, she must be an evil person. She must be part of the, because I've seen old sinks before. I ain't never seen them crumble in nobody's hands. Okay, so then we see Jeff. He's coming downstairs. Henderson is at the front door with his dog. Evening, neighbor. And then he's out walking his dog. He in a robe. And sure enough, when he ended the scene, he in a robe. Where he live? Where you walk? Where they do that? on Black Lightning. And then Henderson is like, y'all okay? Lynn's still here? Don't try to act all stoic with me. I know you. You probably in there tap dancing. You so happy she's back. Y'all deserve some happiness. And we gonna get these guys. You might want to check your girl Lawanda. She posted up outside the Seahorse taking license plate numbers. I tried to talk her out of it, but she just called me Uncle Tom. And I mean, I can't do nothing about it. She does have rights. And then he exits stage center in his robe that I told you about. And then we see sit yourself, girl, and talk to me. That's a song, but I can't think of it now. The music was on jam. I can't remember these songs. Y'all know I just like to dance. I don't know the songs. Okay. And talk to me. Whatever it was a jam. Then we see Latte in his car. He's in a parking garage. And then two dudes pull up with someone in the trunk. It's Will, his cousin, and he's got tape over his mouth. And Latte is like, that's why I don't like hiring family. You got me in a world of confusion. But at the end of the day, I will straighten it out. And then Latavius just shoots his cousin in the head and walks away singing. Now it's kind of like, dang, he's so ruthless. He's so mean. Hey, you came for the show? And then we're at the Seahorse Hotel. And then the press is in full effect. And Jefferson walks up on Mama Lawanda. And he like, you got to stop this. This is suicide. As soon as the press leaves, the 100 are going to kill you. And then Lawanda is like, would you die for your girls? Would you die for your daughters? If Black Lightning didn't save them, huh? That's what I thought. And Jefferson is like, no, wait, Lawanda, no. 18 hours. Just give me, 48 hours. Just give me 40 hours. Like 18, that's an odd number. 48 hours. Just give me 2 days. Just give me 2 days. I have connections. In the police department. And I promise they will listen to me. I promise. We're going to find a way. And none of that will matter if your daughter comes home and she's safe, but her mother is dead. Is dead. And then Mama Lawanda is like, okay, but I am not leaving. I'll just sit in my car and I ain't taking my eyes off of this place just in case they try to take her someplace where I can't find her. And then Jefferson is like, okay, I promise you I won't let you down. And then we see Jen, she's on the roof, like at her house. I used to climb out on the front of my house too, on the 3rd floor. But the little guy who like her, I thought her friend boy is climbing out after her. He her friend boy, when he climb out, when he go back in, he gonna be her boyfriend. So I'm sorry to ruin the surprise for you. But he climbs out in the window and he joins her and he's like, so you saw Black Lightning? That is so cool. And Jen is like, yeah, but when I tried to look at him, his face, it was just like a spotlight or something. It was like out of focus. I couldn't really see him. And the little boy is like, well, Jen, I got to be honest with you now. We've been friends for a long time. And, I realized the other day that you could have been killed. And I never would have had the chance to ask you. So you maybe want to be my girlfriend? And then Jen is like, yeah, I'd like that. And then the little boy is like, thanks, I got you something. It's not fancy. And he takes out a little necklace and puts it around her neck. And, he's like, it looks nice. It's so sweet. They still do, little kids. I mean, young people still do stuff like that. That's sweet. I like to see that. Okay, so then we see Mama Lynn, and she's on her laptop in the family room downstairs. And Jefferson comes in, and Mama Lynn is like, oh, I didn't hear you come in. You want something to eat? Okay, well, you don't want nothing to eat. Well, Jen is upstairs on the roof, so she happy. And Anissa's at her girlfriend's house. I can never remember that girl's name. And then Jeff is like, Gina. And they all smiling and grinning and skinning in each other's face. And then Lynn and Jeff are kissing. And then Jeff is like, I love you and these girls more than anything else in the world. And then I think they skinning and grinning in each other's face again. And then we see Mama Lawanda. She's at the Seahorse Motel. And Latavius, he drives up. And Mama Lawanda puts the phone on record in her car, like in the window type area. And then she gets out and she's got a video recorder rolling. And she's like, I'm sorry, Jeff, but I have to do this. That's what she says quietly. And then she's like, Lala! And then Latay is like, you better get that camera out of my face. Lawanda, take your behind home. I am not playing no games with you. And then the goons are grabbing her. And then Mama Lawanda is like, I want my daughter! I want my daughter! And then Latavius pulls his gun and he shoots her 4 times in the chest. He's not playing. He's just out here killing people on the TV show that's fake, but still. And then he's like, dang, I ain't got time for this man. And then the goons take Lawanda's body and we see her phone and camera is still rolling in the car. And then it gets knocked over. And then we see Jefferson at a desk. He picks up the phone. He's like, hey, man, what's up? And then Lieutenant Henderson is like, hey, or whatever. Hey, you know, I didn't want you to hear it on the news, but Lawanda is dead. I'm sorry, because Jeff is like spaced out or whatever. And then Jeff is looking all shook. Then we see him back at home. The TV news is on in the background. And he's talking, I think he's talking to Lynn. He's like, what good did it do, Lynn? That was my student. I wanted their lives to be better, to transcend it. It's a fantasy that I saved more lives as a principal than as Black Lightning. And Lynn is like, it's not a fantasy. It's not a lie. It's the truth. It's true. And Jefferson is like, Lawanda is dead and I could have saved her. I could save so many. This is the fantasy that we, you and the girls could live some normal life and behind some white picket fence. I'm not normal and I never have been and I never will be. I'm trying to put some bass in my voice because that's Jefferson. I'm not normal. I never have been and I never will be. And then Lynn is like, Jefferson, listen, this is the addiction talking. And Jefferson is like, there is no addiction. You said it was my gift when we discovered my powers. You said it was a blessing from God. It's still my gift. It's still a blessing from God. And I intend to use it, not just for my girls, but for all of the people out there who need me. And then Lynn, she put her hands on his face. You know, she trying to like use the power of touch to change something. And she puts her hands on his face and she's like, Jeff, listen. We are so close to putting the pieces of our lives back together. Our family, we're so close, Jeff. We're so close. And then Jefferson is like, it's time that the people know that Black Lightning is back. That's the theme song. Black Lightning is back. Ooh, I need some water, all this acting. And then we see Jefferson at the school and Miss Karen, the vice principal, is like, well, welcome back. Not like you ever took your eyes off the prize. You've been here anyway, but it's a formality. But how are the girls? I mean, and they're good. How are you? I see you are keeping everything and everyone in order like you always do. I just hope that somebody is doing that for you. If you need to talk or anything or whatever, I'm here. And then Jefferson is like, thanks, Karen. But see, she doesn't say it with her body, like with her words. She sounds like she flirting with them. But she's not like, if you need me for anything, I'm here. She just be like, if you need me for anything, you know, I'm here. And then she twitched out, you know. But Jefferson is like, thanks, Karen. And then we see Taylor Gammy calling Jeff. And he's like, I got some good news. I found Will. But the bad news is that he's dead. But the good news is whoever killed him didn't take his phone. I got it. And then we see Jefferson. Lala is still out there on the loose. He's getting desperate. We got to get him. And then we see Jennifer, our little wild child high schooler, giggling and laughing and drinking with her girlfriend, probably the girlfriend from the fundraiser. And they're at school. They're in their uniforms and everything. And then we see her boyfriend. I can call him boyfriend now. He's on the treadmill. And Jennifer comes in. She's all drinking and she drunk and she got the drink. And she's like, what you doing here? You only live once, YOLO. I see you drinking now? At school? You drinking now at school? It's not cool, Jay. I know it's been crazy, but this is not how you need to deal with it. Look, I've dealt with some crazy. My father was shot and killed, and you know, I see my mama working herself, you know, her behind off just to provide. My brother is in jail. I have seen all of the and lived all of the stuff that the rappers be talking about, and it is not cute. And God gave me a gift and of running, and I'm running my black behind right out of here, and I am not looking back. And I want you to come with, but I'm not like this, sister girl, not like this. I'm not going backwards. And then she's like, and then he's like holding her and hugging her and everything. And we gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. But then there's something coming in the future in episode 4 that has me all upset. Okay, so then we see Lynn at the tailor shop. And she like, you know how this ends. He was happy. And the tailor is like, we all gonna die. He was happy like a man in a cage. And Lynn is like, I want to stop him before he gets addicted. He was happy just being Jeff. And then the tailor is like, you know, he is much more than just Jefferson Pierce. And we have a difference of opinion on this whole addiction theory you have. He was winning. He was out here winning until he stopped because he was addicted to you. Now, look at this city and look at these people. He was winning for the city and winning for the people, and then he stopped because he was addicted to you. Now look at this city and look at the people. Everything is falling apart because he addicted to you. And the chaos, it's chaos out here. And Lynn is like, are you blaming me? And the tailor is like, just like you blame me. It's Jefferson's choice, ultimately, what he does with his powers. And then we see Jefferson at work, and okay, we see It's almost over, y'all. It's getting dark. It's getting dark in here. So turn on all your lights. It is getting so dark. I don't have any lights to turn on though. Okay, let me stay focused. Okay, so then we see Jefferson at work, and a call comes in, and they say Will's phone is probably the tailor. Will's phone had Lala's address on it. I got it on the GPS. And then Jeff exits his office. Hey, Rowdy Chica, I'm almost finished. And then he exits the office. And then Black Lightning is at Lala's place. And Lala, what floor is he on? He asks the doorman, because the doorman is like, oh, I love you, Black Lightning. And then you know, he's in the penthouse. And then we see Black Lightning, and he's fighting his way up the staircase, knocking this one down, beating this one up, punching that one. You know, he's being a superhero, making it up to the top of the stairs to the penthouse. And then he's fight Latavius. And then, he's fighting Latavius. And then the cops interrupt, and they're like, put your hands up. And then Black Lightning is like, it's been a while, Inspector. And then Inspector Henderson is like, hmm? And then Inspector, he says to Lala, you know, you're on tape killing Lawanda. Your boy is turning on you like your world, Lala. And then you gotta be good to me. The song from the beginning. Gonna be good to you. You know, it comes back on. And then we see Jeff with Lynn, and he's like, look, the girls are older and it's different now. And then Lynn leaves. He like, I'm gonna be Black Lightning. Black Lightning is back. That's it. It's a wrap. And then we see Anissa on the street with her girlfriend, and they laughing and happy. And then we see Anissa in bed, and she's awake. She gets up. I think she got a headache or something, and she goes to a drugstore. And then a robbery starts up, and then the armed gunman, he sees her. He's like, get on the ground, get on the ground. I said, get on the ground. And Anissa, she not moving fast enough, because she's like, And then she not moving super fast, and he crosses over to her, and he grabs her, and then she flips him over a whole aisle of things. And then, thank you for the light. And then Anissa is like, shoot, I feel better. You know, you can tell she feel better. And the person behind the counter is looking like, what in the world? And then Anissa walk up, and she put her thing on the counter like, I don't need this now that I have superpowers, you know. And then you know, she leaves the pharmacy. Then we see Jefferson looking at pictures of Lynn on his computer when she was pregnant, and, you know. And then we see Tobias. He's pulling up at the police station, and he's going in through the back door, and he's let in by a white man, and he has the white woman with him too, his regular white woman. Now, the white woman seems to be a constant. What's her name? I don't know what her name is. But anyway, he goes into Latavius' space, who's like in a holding cell, like in a room with where it's witnesses. People see this happening. happening. People see this happening. The first time I saw it, I thought it was like a secretive thing. But people see this happening. Not a lot of people, but some of these people, they know. And then Tobias is like, so Lala, you shot somebody's mama? You know, you got no morals. You got no principles to live by, which means you gotta die. He don't say that with his words, but he start choking him up. And he's holding him up with one hand. Tobias, does he have superpowers? Or is that just normal that you could like hold a man up with one hand and choke him to death? But he chokes him to death. And then he puts on his glasses and he leaves. That's it. That's the end of Black Lightning. I like this show. And I'm liking the quad too. So it's dark now. You can see our teeth still. Up against this white. They don't look white. I used to get all kinds of compliments on my white teeth. That's all I got. Are you watching Black Lightning? Do you love Black Lightning? Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for being one of the first 1,000 subscribers, one of the first 1 million subscribers. Wherever we are, thanks for helping us take the next step. I appreciate you. Yes. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you.